Before you start your shift, you will need to make sure you are wearing the proper PPE for Sunny Transporter. You will need an apron, burn sleeves, and hot pads, all of which you can find in the laundry room. You will also need plastic gloves, which can be found behind the concept in the dry stock area. Next to the laundry room, you will be able to find the chemical closet. This is where the glass cleaner and multi-quat is found. There should also be some of both of these cleaners behind each concept. This is dry stock. There are many items that you will need throughout your shift that can be found here. Some of these items include plastic wrap, powdered sugar, honey, non-stick spray for the waffle iron, syrup, chocolate chips, sprinkles, banana chips, sugar, cereal, coffee supplies, and many other items that you will need that were not refrigerated. Bagels can be found in the milk cooler. This is also where you will be able to find items such as whipped cream. You will also get ice packs for the condiments and waffle mix in the back of the blast freezer. This is the produce cooler. Here you will be able to find yogurt, salsa, and fruit. Before the shift starts, it is your responsibility to make sure that the entire line is fully stocked and ready for the customers. You should make sure that all the equipment is turned on. This includes turning on the heat lamps, hot plates, soup well, oatmeal warmer, coffee maker, bagel toaster, and all 3 cold wells. You should also make sure to put a small amount of water in the bottom of the soup well so that the sausage gravy does not burn on the bottom. All cold wells can be turned on by opening the door and flipping the on-off switch to on. Trivets are found in a bucket underneath the counter and will be put on the hot plates so that the pans of hot food do not slide around. Next to these, you will also be able to find hot pads, burn sleeves, and cut gloves. All the hot food will either come from the back cook on line 3 or the front cook at Sunny. There are 2 warmers where spares of each dish are kept. When something is getting low, you will take a new pan out of the warmer and replace the empty one on the line. Make sure to always use hot pads when doing this. Remember, our motto at Nelson is safety before service. Never sacrifice your safety while working. Make sure you're communicating with the cooks at Sunny and tell them when you are taking anything from the warmer. This way, they will be able to prepare more and we will never run out of any foods. Also, ask them which pans they would like to reuse and which can just go back to pots and pans. You will need to make sure that both syrup dispensers are plugged in and turned on. They should be placed on black trays. You will also need to make sure that both are filled. New syrup can be found under the counter or in dry stock, but also check the omelets cooler to see if there is a deep well pan already filled with syrup. If you are working during the week, you will be responsible for making sure that the waffle station is stocked. This includes the waffle mix, syrup, sugar-free syrup, which is in bottles put in front of the large syrup dispensers, powdered sugar, also in front of the syrup dispensers, a honey bear, and all toppings. You should also make sure that there is non-stick waffle spray. The waffle maker should be plugged in and on, and there should be a black tray underneath to help avoid messes on the counters. You should also make sure to put out a waffle stick and measuring cup at each waffle maker and dispenser. Both can be found under the counter. There are 2 waffle mix dispensers, both of which should be lined with ice packs to keep the waffle mix cold. Waffle mix can be found in deep pans in the omelets cooler. If there is none left, you need to tell a cook. 3 black trays should be put under the cereal dispensers and 1 on each end of the bagel toaster. The yogurt well will always have 3 flavors of yogurt, butter, salsa, a whipped cream can, and a fruit. These all can be found in the front cooler next to the well. More backups of these are kept in the produce cooler except for whipped cream, which is in the milk cooler. If you're running low on oatmeal, just talk to a cook and they'll be able to prepare more. If something needs restocked, it can be found in dry stock. Raisins and dried cranberries are found in the yogurt cooler or the produce cooler. Once all the food is set out, you will need to make sure to put out utensils for the foods. For the oatmeal, pastries, and bagels, the utensils should be placed on a silver holder, which should be labeled for each. All utensils can be found in containers under the counter. They should be organized by type. The condiment pumps should have ketchup and hot sauce. They should always have an ice pack in the bottom, and extras can be found in the condiment cooler under line 1 in the kitchen. There is a cart underneath the cereal dispensers with extra cereals To refill, lift off the top of the dispenser and carefully pour cereal into it and return the top. You will also need to make sure that the coffee is always refilled. We have regular and decaf coffees. The regular is brewed on the left side of the machine and grounds are found in the left dispenser, while decaf is brewed on the right side with its grounds on that side as well. To make coffee, unscrew the top of the coffee pot and place it directly underneath the machine. To get grounds, place one coffee filter in the dispenser. These can be found directly underneath the coffee machine. For regular coffee, pull the lever once for 3 steps. For decaf, pull once per step. Make sure that the machine is set on the correct amount of steps. Place the filter and grounds in the strainer and put the strainer on the proper side of the coffee machine. Then just press brew. Make sure that the coffee pot's handle is in the down position so that it will not spill out while it is brewing. Make sure to keep coffee supplies stocked as well as coffee mugs on the line. There are mugs in a cart right underneath the counter. If you run out, you can get clean mugs from the dish room. You will also make sure that the hot water dispenser is filled. This is the red tap on the middle of the machine. You will need to make sure that all bagels, breads, English muffins, and pastries are stocked throughout the shift. Backups of breads can be found on the bagel rack, milk cooler, or thawing room. Backups of pastries are found underneath the counter. Communicate with the cook on which pastries you are using and if anything is running low. If someone comes in and requests gluten-free options, they are kept in a special container next to the bagel rack behind the counter. You will have to change your gloves before handling any gluten-free foods. Throughout the meal period, make sure that the cream cheese and jellies are always stocked. Backups of these can be found in the cooler underneath the coffee machine. Once the meal period is over, keep the food out for another 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, turn off all the equipment, including hot plates, syrup dispensers, waffle maker, and soup well. Cold well should be left on after lunch and only turned off after dinner. Remove all utensils from the food pans and put them in a black bucket by the sinks. Wash all of the utensils with Dawn dish soap in the sink. Once they are dry, put them in the proper containers under the counter. Ask the cooks what food should be saved and what can be composted. Anything that is saved should be covered with plastic wrap and dated. Then ask the cook where they want it stored. Anything that can be composted should be taken to pots and pans and put in the green compost bin. The dirty pans can be left at pots and pans for cleaning. For closing after a lunch shift, you should refill the syrup. After dinner, you should pour it into a deep well pan, plastic wrap it, and date it, and put it in the omelets cooler. To clean the syrup dispensers, you should use a white bucket and warm water. Pour the water in the dispenser and then lift the nozzle so the water runs through. You should do this at the sink. Make sure that there is no sticky residue on or in the dispenser. For lunch, the waffle mix tub can be placed directly into the omelets cooler. After dinner, it should be put into a deep well pan, wrapped, dated, and put in the omelets cooler. Then you will clean the dispenser by running hot water through it so that no waffle mix is left. Make sure to also clean the nozzle out. You will also need to clean the inside and outside of the waffle dispenser. The oatmeal warmer can be turned off and you can take the pan to pots and pans using hot pads. For lunch, oatmeal toppings should be refilled and covered with a sheet tray. After dinner, they should be refilled and wrapped except for the brown sugar, which can be thrown away. Bagels should be restocked and double wrapped, while donuts and pastries should be double wrapped and placed under the counter. You should then wipe out the pastry and bagel containers with a wet cloth. For lunch, leave the cool wells on and simply cover the cream cheese, yogurts, and jellies with sheet trays. After dinner, each pan should be wrapped and dated, then put into the appropriate cooler. Then turn off the cold wells early so that the ice can melt from the sides. Once it is melted, you can use a rag and clean out the wells. For lunch, the condiment dispensers can be just covered with plastic wrap. After dinner, the pumps should be cleaned out and the extra condiments should be wrapped and dated and put into the condiment cooler. Make sure to wipe down the dispenser to make sure that there is nothing on it. Once the toaster is cool, lift the conveyor belt and clean out any crumbs. Make sure to wear cut gloves while doing this. Any of the black trays under the toaster, cereal, waffle makers, and syrup can be taken to the dish room to be cleaned. Any ice packs can be taken back to the crate in the blast freezer. Clean all the sneeze guards with the blue paper towels and glass cleaner. Always spray the towel Make sure to clean off any crumbs on the shelves under the counters and clean off the outside and inside of the cooler doors. Clean the drains under each of the sinks. Make sure to wear cut gloves, remove the cover, then the food catcher. Empty the food into a trash can. Make sure to never let food go down the drain. Wipe out the sinks with a rag to make sure there is no food left. Take all of the trash to the dumpsters at the docks. Use a cart so that any leaks will not go on the floor. Replace the trash bags. Take any dirty laundry to the laundry room and put it in the correct container. Make sure to check out with a student leader when you are